So, welcome, event organizers, and we're live once again. It's 8 p.m., and as you know, Monday through Friday, every day at 8 p.m. Vienna time in Austria, here in Europe, we go live, sharing all the lessons, everything we have learned over the past years when it comes to live video and storytelling, so that you, if you're an event organizer, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a marketing agency, how you can scale your business using live video and storytelling. My name is Juan Guerra, and I'm the founder of Be Seen Live, and we are a production company here in Vienna. We work with event organizers, entrepreneurs, and agencies, helping them deliver unique experiences online. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how to monetize your online events. This is a huge topic. I know that many sponsors and companies don't think that there is value in online events, and if there is potential in actually sponsoring them. Many times, also event organizers I've seen, especially in the very beginning, they used to deliver a lot of content for free. And little by little, as the business changed, they had to charge some money for it, especially because, well, production, it's not really that cheap. And so there are some costs, although obviously, as you may know by now, delivering an online event is extremely cheap compared to the cost of a venue and catering and so on and so on and so on. Nobody needs to fly, you don't need to pay expensive speaker fees and so on. But still, if you want to build a sustainable model, sustainable business, if you want to stay in the market, then you definitely need to start charging. And one of the things is you have two ways to make money out of your event, either selling tickets or monetizing your actual event. And today you're going to depend on a couple of things. And that's exactly what I want to share with you. It really depends where you deliver your event. And let's just talk about online events at the moment, because that's the biggest thing happening, perhaps hybrid, but I want to focus on the live video aspect. And so what people actually see online. In the past, I mean, since we started, our biggest thing was, how can we help event organizers pay for our service without them having to pay for it? Like, how can they actually put together some packages, some sponsorships that a company can give them, and they can actually make money out of hiring us? And that was a big driver the whole time as I was putting the packages together, talking to event organizers. And many of the times it worked. Sometimes it had to come from the sales, from the marketing budget of the event. But a lot of times, actually, our clients made money out of hiring us. And so I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that they manage to achieve that, how they put together some very interesting packages, because, well, there is a lot of learning. And I have my notes here. Now, I think the first thing that we need to identify is, where is your event taking place? And by your event, I mean your online event. Like, where are your participants watching? Are you going to be broadcasting in a closed platform, something like Hopin, Run the World? I mean, there's so many nowadays, Brella, Maestro, B2Match, and so on and so on. Or are you going to be directly on YouTube? Are you going to be on Zoom? Are you going to be on a webinar conferencing tool? Or are you going to be in your own website? So all of them are really going to define what are the possibilities in terms of platform. But there are actually a couple of things that I would like to focus on, actually, in terms of content of the stream, because it is easy to see how this platform provides you the space to showcase your sponsors. But what is a bit harder to envision is actually how you can plug into the content. And we had to work really hard in the beginning, because back in the day, you could only advertise within the content of the event. And since we were doing conferences in Facebook Live, and Facebook had a very strict policy of not pushing third-party ads and advertisements, then we had to come up with really creative ideas. And so I want to share with you, because the industry obviously has changed, and now you are in platforms that don't even control copyright music and so on and so on. And so there's a lot that we can share here with you. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you already put together a package that you have been selling to sponsors, if you already even have sold some sponsorships to your event, then you need to be really careful. Why? Because any type of sponsorship within the content, which is what people are actually watching, means way more reach and exposure than whatever else you have offered to your customers, unless you are putting a banner on top of the stage in the platform, unless you're putting a banner on your website, because that's where people are watching. Then a lot of people are going to see the content that you're delivering. And sponsors who already gave you money and they saw a booklet that didn't have this option may get upset that they didn't have access to this option. So you need to think about, before you start offering to everybody, that actually you embed the potential of sponsorship within the content, within the broadcast, to your whole booklet and offer it to everybody. If you already have some sponsors, then I really recommend you to pitch them the idea before start offering to others, because, well, chances are that they talk to each other. But what kind of things can you do online? One of the things that we used to like doing a lot is that we actually set up our own behind the scenes interview studio. And that's something that we were doing a lot with physical events. And so whenever there was a break, we would go into the studio where we would have one-on-one behind the scenes. And because especially statistics show that people really like watching live video from conferences and so on, if it includes a lot of behind the scenes. So I'm not going to go deep into content today. I really want to make it about monetization. I'll for sure talk about it next week. So make sure to watch our videos as we go live at 8 p.m. Also, in case you forget, then shameless plug, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. And above all, hit that like button so that the YouTube algorithm knows that we should share with other people. So checking here through my notes, there are a couple of things that you could do through the content. And the first thing was, you can actually just interview one of your partners. You can interview them and ask questions, shape the interview in a way that is relevant to the overall content of the event. I mean, normally we would work with the event organizer to shape that interview and to select, because those interviews are really, really strategic in terms of marketing after the event. But again, I'll talk to you about that in a future video. But you can interview them. In terms of technology, what is possible? Anything from putting the logo on the corner, anything from adding like inserts and graphics, anything from adding a pre-recorded video about them, anything from having their logos in the covers, it's possible. Anything, you know, for example, when you're watching TV or maybe a football game and then the Coca-Cola thing comes in, that's also possible online, especially if you're working with professional production companies, then their software is the software is capable of doing such things. So it's just a matter of having that in advance, and that's something that you can package to sell to your sponsors. The other thing that you can do is actually, well, have your moderator in front of a what is called press wall. These are these walls that have all these logos and all these things. Sometimes you may have a roll-up or something like that, but you could have a press wall where it's actually the backdrop that the moderator has. And so every time they go live and they talk, you can see the logo of your sponsors behind. At the same time, you could also embed the whole story within the content. And so you would need to think a bit further about how you can actually tell a story and add value to your audience from a perspective of presenting or positioning your actual sponsor. At the same time, Another thing that you could do is, and this was something that was more relevant for hybrid events. So once now hybrid events start coming back, is that if you have an exhibitors area and you have your sponsor there, or you could actually have as an upsell to your exhibitors the option that the mobile online team can actually go through a walk. They can do a walkthrough through the exhibitors area and then happen to casually stop at their booth to see what they're doing. And that way they could also get some exposure on the live stream. And another thing that was really cool is to actually just simply brand the whole studio or the interview place or the whole online event as your sponsor. So you could say, "Hi guys, welcome back. We are live right now from the Be Seen studio here in their headquarters in Vienna, and now we have an interview with so and so and so." So all these are ways that you could actually simply package your event and add sponsorship packages or products that you can add to the overall event and work together with the production team so that you can give exposure to those partners that actually bought them. There's going to be a lot of collaboration also with the moderator to make sure that they are plugging in the participants, but in a way that is casual and exciting. Many times you see it, and I experience it very often, that the moderator, as they're talking about the sponsors, they refer to them as the necessary thing to do in the event. It's like, and of course, we were not able to do this with other sponsors. Thank you so much to them. Hey, you are the salesperson. Like, you need to make sure that actually that person needs to sell the sponsorship. Like, why are these guys sponsoring? Why are they relevant to the audience? How can the audience benefit thanks to the sponsorship? And this is also as well has to do with moderation of virtual events where you actually need to sell the event to participants. But again, that's a topic for a whole nother video. So there is a lot to share coming up in the next weeks. But in the meantime, these are ideas on how you can actually package and make your event more attractive to sponsors. The biggest thing is to work with a production company that has experience and they have a lot of knowledge on how the technology can be adapted to showcase your sponsors. The last thing that you want to have, and really try this at all costs, is to avoid having like a Formula One, stage where you have a bunch of logos everywhere just around your speakers. So you definitely don't want to have that, but you can always have a logo here that comes every now and then, a logo down here that comes every now and then, the topic, the slides. There is a lot of flexibility. So make sure to talk to a production company that can support you and guide you through the process. And obviously you want to do this as early as possible so that when you go out there and start offering sponsorships, then already you have them in the package. If you're thinking about other ways that you can make money online in your online events or through live video, there's more to come on that. But I hope you have gained a couple of tips on how you can make your online events more attractive and even sustainable to sponsors. You do not have to pay for the cost of production. Production can be very, very attractive because it's the place where everybody's watching. That's the place where everybody's actually going to consume the content. So it's going to be very attractive to your sponsors. And in particularly, if you then decide to cut the recording of your event into smaller individual sessions, then that's another layer of value that you can give to your sponsors. I hope that helps. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of Be Seen, and we are a production company based out of Vienna, but we are able to host global events to companies, marketing agencies, and event organizers that want to scale and reach audiences across the world. Thank you so much. We go live here in this channel every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And I wish you a great weekend. All the best, and see you on Monday. Bye, guys.